When it comes to bang for your buck driving enjoyment, few do it better than the iconic Mazda MX-5. Just ask anyone who's owned or even driven one and you'll soon be told why the little Miata is the world's most popular roadster. Now, new additions for 2024 promise to make it even better in terms of accessibility and enjoyment on the racetrack, which is why we've come to the Bend in South Australia. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to the Car Sales channel and let us know in the comments below what you think of the little Miata. The 2024 Mazda MX-5 is now on sale, fresh from its midlife facelift, boasting an array of mechanical improvements as well as fresh equipment. As you'd expect, prices are up across the range. Here we've got the flagship GT RS, and naturally we've gone for the soft top with a manual gearbox. This is because the key upgrades, notably a new asymmetric limited slip diff and track mode with the stability control, are only applied to manual variants. Outside, you won't really see any changes on the GT RS. Underneath, it's the same 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine as before, but it sounds a little bit noisier thanks to an upgraded air intake system. There's also tweaks to the steering and the throttle is supposed to be more responsive. Inside, there's now a larger 8.8-inch infotainment screen, and this is the first Mazda to debut its connected services, which means you can view vehicle status remotely, you can lock the car and do a bunch of other things, and there's also an emergency SOS which will contact emergency services if the vehicle is in an accident. But it still only works as a touchscreen when the vehicle is stopped. When you're on the move, you've got to use this rotary dial, which I don't really have a problem with, but I know some people don't like that at all. Well, that's pretty much all the basics covered. Now it's time to hit the track. When I was a kid, I always wanted a convertible, so when I got my Ps, I bought an MX-5. It was a silver NB soft top, and I painted the calipers and I painted the wheels. I even bedazzled the interior mirror. And I learned a lot in that car, but one of the things I learned really quickly was how easy they can be to spin. Needless to say, that car was written off, but not by me. I'll just add that little bit in there. Today, the MX-5 is a lot more user-friendly, and it makes it really easy for someone that maybe wants to drive on a track but hasn't done so before or isn't really confident to just get in and go. You can really just get one of these off the showroom floor and drive straight out onto a racetrack, particularly in this top-spec GT RS, which is the most track-focused version. But when you gain some confidence, it's not long before the MX-5's stability control kicks in and slows you down. And that's what it's designed to do. But this new MX-5 is where the whole game changes because it's got the new DSC track mode. You get the little checkered flag pop up to tell you that it's on. And let's see if we get any more freedom to not slide, but get a little more tail happy. Yeah, you can definitely feel the car wriggling around a little bit underneath, but it still feels well within control. It's not difficult at all to wrestle around. You just feel it clip that rear end just to keep everything neat and tidy, but still doesn't wash off too much speed and slow you down, which is exactly what you want. The MX-5 has retained everything we've come to love about this little roadster. That 2-litre engine, albeit when it's worked hard, works really well. It's a lot of fun, and while this is by no means a fast car, the power to weight, this thing only weighs about 1,100 kilos, so it feels a lot faster than what it actually is. I think while plenty of people are going to buy one of these cars and just turn stability control off completely, this new DSC track mode is a major draw card for those that aren't ready to switch it off completely and leave everything up to the driver. It still gives the driver plenty of opportunity to try and get a little bit sideways, but more so go fast, knowing that they're sort of protected if they do lose the rear end a little bit. They're not just going to go spiraling off the track and into a wall.